And government ministers are speaking about the Alberta wildfire emergency in Ottawa. Let's listen in.
Prepare for them and to be ready to be safe. The devastating wildfires and floods that we're seeing right across the country remind us why preparation is so important. And as Minister Boissonnault just mentioned, there are currently over 100 active wildfires burning in the province of Alberta. There are about 60 wildfires in British Columbia and about 15 in Saskatchewan. Over the past few days, we've been working very closely, in particular with the officials in Alberta, through our Government Operations Centre and their Provincial Emergency Operations Centre to assess their needs, to offer federal resources, and to help them manage a very challenging situation. Earlier today, as Randy mentioned, the Prime Minister has spoken with the Premier, and we are in the process of receiving a formal request for federal assistance from the province of Alberta. I have been in many conversations with my counterpart, Minister Mike Ellis, earlier today and throughout the past weekend, and our officials have been fully engaged working to identify the appropriate resources and mobilizing those resources to deliver them as required by the province of Alberta. I've also had a number of conversations today with the Canadian Red Cross about establishing a donation matching program. We've also been reached out to Alberta and that have been impacted by these wildfires, and we'll have more to share later on today about the particulars of that program, but we're all working together to make sure that people impacted by these fires have the resources and the support that they will need in order to get through this. In addition to the wildfires in Alberta, we are also, of course, closely monitoring the flooding in Ontario and Quebec, and in Manitoba, the fires, as I've mentioned, in Saskatchewan, in the Northwest Territories, and of course, in British Columbia, which is experiencing both due to high temperatures and fast melting rivers. If federal assistance is required, it will be delivered when and where it is required, and to the Canadians who have been forced to evacuate. And as Randy mentioned, close to 30,000 people in Alberta have been forced from their homes. Know that you are in our thoughts and that we will be there to support you with the response, and we'll also be there with you as we recover from this very difficult event. And I also want to take the opportunity to offer my personal thanks to all first responders, firefighters, and emergency personnel. They have been working tirelessly through the weekend to keep Canadians safe. We are grateful for their selfless service, for their fellow Canadians, and we will also be there to support them. I want to thank you all very much, and I'll now turn it over to Minister Hajdu.
Thanks very much, Bill. And Randy, as my colleagues have said, this is a very frightening and concerning time for Albertans, and there are about 15 First Nations that are significantly impacted by the wildfires. Most people have been evacuated. They've left behind family assets and infrastructure and belongings. And so my heart goes out to everyone who is experiencing this incredible dislocation and fear during this really difficult time. Indigenous Services Canada is working directly with the First Nations affected, with partners, including the Government of Canada, to coordinate and ensure that evacuees and communities are well supported. I've spoken with two chiefs already where the greatest urgency is in place. Both Chief Conroy Sewepagam of the Little Red River Cree Nation and Chief Sunshine of Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation reiterated Canada's support to make sure that community members are well taken care of as a community both supports members and tries to protect any remaining infrastructure that is currently still intact. I also had a conversation with my Albertan colleague this morning, Minister Rick Wilson. Obviously, he reiterated that although there hasn't been any loss of life, there's been just astronomical infrastructure and other losses, and reiterated our commitment as the Government of Canada to in both the immediate and the long term. Right now, the focus is, as I said, on evacuation, on the safety of the evacuees, and getting as much fire prevention effort in place, like cut lines and barriers where possible, so that we can protect what remaining infrastructure does exist. Indigenous Services Canada is also mobilizing a lot of different teams, nurses who are helping with reception centers and healthcare services and home care needs, environmental public health officers who are assisting with assessments, and mental wellness teams that are already deployed in a number of locations and have a variety of different capabilities for counseling or other kinds of information or system navigation. Jordan's principal teams that are working to make sure families and young people continue to get their very specific needs met. And then, of course, the coordination of the various different hotel spaces and other spaces where evacuees can stay and where we can provide those services to people on site. So we will continue to be working closely with our partners, First Nations partners and provincial partners, to make sure that as we get through this crisis situation, people have what they need to get the support that they need during this very difficult time. And I'll just reiterate my thanks, as my colleagues did, to the first responders and the firefighters, many of them volunteer firefighters, many of them First Nations firefighters that are trained within community and that are out there right now doing their absolute level best to protect homes and communities. Thank you.